Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. Is everybody hearing me clearly? You can use a chat function in Zoom if you want. Okay, perfect. All right, showtime. So this is our third webinar in COVID-19 times. This one is about how to turn your website into a sales and lead machine. We're going to give you some handy tips and tricks and also show you how it can be done even in the next level way. The topics of the day are times have changed. This is an intro on how the search behavior has changed. The second topic is how we used to make websites. It's a bit recognizable story, I hope, for everyone. And then some handy quick fixes. What can you do yourself? The point of this meeting. How can professionals help you to do it the next level? Some handy takeaways, and then very shortly about us. But you see our priorities, it's about you. Okay, first chapter, the times have changed. This next slide will show you a bit recognizable story, I hope. This is our new office. People work from home now. So what has changed? A lot has changed. People buy more and more online. It was already trending, but it's never been so popular as now. I will show you some slides a bit further that during COVID-19, e-commerce boosting went up 20%. So that's not nothing. Your home is not just your home, but it's also the place where you have to teach your children, do some medicine, treat your garden. You've been a bit obliged to stay a lot at home, which is the result. People cook healthier, surprise. Some people gain some weight too, but okay, that's what happens when you have a lot of time. People garden more. Then Facebook, overall, of practically all the countries, Facebook has gone up 50% in usage. How come? People really miss their family, their friends, their colleagues, and we are social animals. This is a bit the lifeline to stay alive. Of course, it's all the social channels went up. You're a bit obliged also to teach your children nowadays. The schools are closed, so that's something that comes with it. And the whole industry of, let's say, second screens, cleaners, ink subscription and stuff like that is also booming due to that. And then last point, self-medicine was already booming, but now it's popular than ever. I heard stories of, let's say, the pharma lines of this world that have their stock is exhausted. So whatever you order now, you have to wait 1 week. It means something. All right. Okay, a bit strange slide here perhaps is that, okay, people surf more, but especially on fixed devices like and websites, the app usage went a bit down. Why? I'm sure in the middle of your living room is now your Mac or PC and everything around it. And in the evening, I think you're pretty much had it with being online and people turn away from their phones. So you see, hope you see my mouse too. You see here the curve goes up. This is the usage of websites of Facebook, Netflix and YouTube. And then here the apps itself, they didn't really crash, but plus 1% in COVID times means not a growth. So it's a bit strange, but it's the way it is. Another interesting slide is the impact of how people reacted mobile-wise. This chart comes from Google. What did they do? Of course, in your pocket, if you have an Android phone, there's stuff like Waze, or even if you have an iPhone, would be there too, and some trackers. So imagine that YouTube is still as an app installed in your on your phone. Code, 76% less visits to retail, a lot less to groceries, parks, stations, workplaces, and guess what? People stay more where they live. So, which is obvious because, yeah, this is COVID-19 times. Okay. An also interesting slide is this one. This is the impact per sector worldwide. There are some winners, there are some losers. Not badly meant, but okay. People, some sectors were totally not exposed. Pharma, we just discussed it. You have an illness, you won't wait till the crisis is over. Food and retail has also been booming. Telecom, yeah, what would you do? You are mobile as we speak. And then, yeah, some not so winners is like non-food retail. We've seen some fashion clients who, yeah, didn't really catch up. Everything doing with travel and airlines is also not is a bit endangered. So, okay. Also on the rise is contactless payment. It's quite clear why. Imagine I give you some cash and I'm contaminated and I contaminate you with me. So people are a bit more yeah, cleaner than they used to be. It's that way. So contactless payments is on the rise. And that's also why people like to shop online. But before was seen perhaps as a negative point is now positive. We really don't like touching people to buy stuff anymore. That's a trend. Okay. Here's the survey of a lot of marketing managers after in COVID-19 times. So they asked them what will be your focus for the rest of the year. Number one is accelerate sales conversions. That's also a bit by accident the topic of this meeting, so it could be interesting. The second one is also important. How do we differentiate ourselves from our competitors? If you don't know that answer, you're really in problem. So, okay. There will be a shift in budget. I assume there will be some budget cuts, obviously. Yeah, we've been a bit down for a while. But TV advertising will be cut. Offline advertising, I do mean print. And then event marketing. I think this sector has had really hard. Why would you do an event if nobody can leave, and especially if a lot of people come together? Okay, lucky for us, this accelerates online sales. So instead of putting in magazines, put it in online. It's measurable. You can count on an ROE. You can improve campaigns. These numbers come from Gartner, which is a bit the source in our sector. All right. I didn't just want to talk about branding and brands. It's also for B2B. It's more or less the same story there. Where before you really had to have physical contact, now it's more an online experience. They interviewed a lot of B2B marketeers, and they say digital interactions are now 2 to 5 times more important than traditional interactions. It means something. So you better have your whole full flow of sales ready online. Okay, this is a chapter intro. So, okay, times have changed. Not for the best for everyone, but okay. Next chapter is how we used to do website. It's a very short chapter. It's just to remind you on some things that you probably are doing not so well. First of all, I'm sure everybody in the sector of marketing has made some or more websites in their life, the whole process. How does it work usually? You put a team together internally, and then you find the right professional partner to do it. You discuss with your management what they want to see and hear, and then you make a plan, you roll it out, and voila, 3 to 6 months later, you have a website. Wow. But there's one catch here. It's mostly written from the view of the company. And so it's more like they have to like what we write because we wrote it. Okay. Yeah. Let's just discuss the traditional outcome is then a classic KMO or brand or corporate or whatever site with about us, what we do, news, contact form. There's no real differentiator with all other sites. The web design is nice, but it will be an adaptation of your corporate style guide, I assume. Some companies are already doing static catalogs. It's a start. Some others just use PDFs. It's a bit worrying. But it stays the main fact that there are no really an X factor. Why would you return? What's sexier than your competitor? You couldn't really answer. Then at home, you like to you love to surf to Amazon.com, Bol.com, I don't know, perhaps Adidas, eShop, whatever. Why? Sexy, user-friendly. It knows what you want, so it goes for full personalization. The whole user experience, how it should be. And then, yeah, the point is clear. Can you see what is missing on your own site? It's exactly that. Okay. At a certain moment, we've all been there. You have your content filling up, ready website, also great. And then the misery mostly starts. Where are the texts? Where do I find my content? Mostly it's like recycling old brochures and folders, and perhaps you have some photos left or right from 10 years ago. Okay, put it all on the website. Good riddance. We are done. What is lacking? Yeah, it's clear. Nice illustrations, nice animations, inspiring articles, a combination of information and entertainment. And at home or on your social media, what do you like to read? Trending topics and topics you really trust or are interesting. Okay, so that's relevant to what we just described. Right. Then traffic. Okay, so we made the technical website, we filled it up, all great, and now you expect some visitors on your website. Of course, it starts with the corporate styling. On your name card, you would have your www address, and show in your signature too, perhaps on some other stationery, all good and great, but this is tapping into the pool of people you already know. So it's not a real good way to grow your clients. I'm sure pretty much everyone is already doing SEO, Google search optimization, but still, I know because we've been in the world, it's mostly stuck to focus on 5 keywords everybody's focusing on in your sector, which is a bit impossible to be #1 on Google. Most of the companies are already doing paid advertising, like Google Ads or social media. But yeah, overall, with the same flow we just described, I bet there are not a lot of qualified leads coming out of this story. What could be missing? Here come some solutions. Okay, so we've had it. So the intro, how we used to make websites. Now the quick fixes is what you can do yourself on your website, hopefully. The topics, how to use Google My Business related to COVID-19, how to improve your SEO and content, how to use Google Trends, how to improve speed and mobile readiness, add clear call to actions, and how to optimize campaigns with tracking pixels. Okay. First one should be an obvious one, but I'm sure not a lot of people know it. If you now look for any shop or business, you would see this kind of feature on Google if you go a bit in detail. Now you could see some stuff like it's temporarily closed or updated hours due to Corona. How do they do that? Okay, normally you should know that how Google My Business works. It's a free tool. Just Google My Business. You have to actually Google wants to know that you're the real owner of your company. Be bad if you weren't, but okay. And then they used to send you a postcard with the code. You have to fill in this code back, and then you confirm that you are the owner of the company because you got a card on the address you say you were. After that, with the same login and password, you use Google Analytics. You see this kind of screen on the tab Google My Business, and then there's a new tab, a new section called Corona COVID-19 information. Whatever you fill in there gets priority listing here if you look for it. But it will be in red, and I've read articles that Google likes people who update their data COVID-19 style. So it could be that your competitor is not doing it and you'll be ranked above him. So this is a free giveaway. Yeah, a bigger chapter is of course search engine optimization. I don't want to go too much in details. It was not a topic of today, but in short, how does it normally work? Imagine you have a new website. You would start with advertising. Why? Google doesn't know you. So it takes some time for Google to index you and to make some backlinks and stuff like that. So you start with PPC, pay-per-click. Then hopefully you have content marketing in place. So you would do something with Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. So you write a lot of articles linking to your website that gives you traffic too. That could be a midterm way of generating traffic. Then there is a long-term approach, meaning we stop paying Google and we do a combination of harvesting all the free Google traffic by search together with social media linking back to your website. Those combined could give you a lot of visitors, and you need a lot of visitors. Why? A normal conversion rate is 1 to 3%. Or this is a bit more e-commerce related, but still, it means that if you have 100 unique visitors on your website, 2 to 3 will take some action on it. So if you really want a nice pool of clients, you need thousands of unique visitors to do anything. Right? Yeah. How does SEO work? I think everybody thinks probably of copywriting as some nice sexy keyword, but that's more than that. Is your website built up the correct way? Probably heard that if your site is not mobile ready, you get penalty points because it's a bad user experience. There are some other things that are also impacting your technical performance, but I'll describe them later. Is your content relevant, up to date, and are using the right keywords? That's what most of you link, I guess, with SEO. Then the third one is, do you have enough authority? What does that mean? If you have 500 articles linking from the date to your website, I'm pretty sure Google thinks you're very big in authority. Why? Because a site with a high ranking links back to your site. I know back in the days there were like some Indian companies who just backlink to you, but that doesn't count anymore. It can backfire. You really need nice, important websites linking back to you. It's a bit PR. You can also link important high visited pages back to your other pages. So you spread a bit the authority. These are all tips and techniques. What can you do as a marketeer with hopefully a CMS and a Google Analytics? I'll show you some details. This is a case of Bellorta. It's I think the market leader in vegetables and fruits. These are the real stats. So okay, they get not so much visitors. Let's say 1,000 to 2,000 per month. Okay, the first most high ranked page is their homepage. Is obvious. I think this is the case for every website. But the second one is not so obvious. It's jobs. You wouldn't expect from an above the line advertising company that the most search page after the homepage is jobs. I think this means that something is not right. It should be tomatoes or recipes or anything hip and trending, but it isn't at the moment. So check that on your own Google Analytics. It's not because you made pages that people look at them. To be blunt, they should be looking at your products and okay, jobs is important, but perhaps not in these times. Okay, the second chart to check is the keywords. First one was just the most visited pages. On the keywords point, same thing here. Kruiden, it makes sense. Spices, fruits and vegetables could be related. But then 2 and 3 are extranet. This is a very strange word. I know the history. Bellorta worked a lot with B2B, and so historically their extranet was very important, but it's a bit frightening that it's almost the most searched keyword on the whole site. It should be tomatoes or anything else that they publicize on TV or something like that, but it isn't. Okay. What to do is, then you have to upgrade your content. How do you have to do that? You have to know what keywords are popular. There are a ton of tools to do that. One nice one is Google AdWords itself. It has a keyword planner. I didn't want to go too technical in this session, so what I suggest is something simpler, is Google it. Really type in, for instance, digital marketing, and Google will list everything that's also hot and searchable. Let's say education, books, jobs, and so on. to be blunt, what you see here, screenshot it and make articles about it. I'm pretty sure you will have high ranking pages. What can you do with your own CMS? Normally it should be a bit Google ready. So, okay, change the URL of your page and use these kinds of hot searched terms. Use the same title, add alt tags to your images. I'm probably saying stuff you already know, but be consequent about it. It's not just mentioning one time the word and it will be page one. It doesn't work that way. Tool not so many people know, but which is very interesting, is Google Trends. How does it work? Go to trends.google.de. It starts with the start page with all the hot trending topics at this moment. I'm pretty sure Corona will be in it. But imagine you're in insurance. I would type in insurance plus Belgium, because you could choose any country you like. I really will see all the trends of the most searched keywords. It's different than using the Google Keyword Planner. Why? Because it really shows trends. It says this word now is 110% more popular than 1 week ago. This word is not popular at all anymore. It just, what does it mean for you? If I have to write blog topics, perhaps on more inspiring topics like which are the new trends in interior design, it would really give me the trends. If I could say, you know what, something of IKEA or so, I would make a blog topic about it, and I'm pretty sure people would search it because now it's hot and trendy. So that's a good tool to know what to write about, because you know you will have traffic. Okay, then yeah, because you get a lot of penalty points on it. Yeah, how to optimize your current, perhaps old site for speed and mobile readiness. Also, for every problem there is a Google solution apparently. So there is a tool called Google Page Speed Insights tool. Here is the link. You will get the presentation later, so don't worry. You don't have to type it over. You search for your own site, and then it gives you results. It would say, yeah, let's say your site loads in 3 seconds. All good and well, but it also gives you a lot of input back. Let's say, yeah, you could click on these kind of arrows, and then you would see really like change this code and that, change this to that. Okay, for us marketeers, this is too geeky, but to be blunt, give a list of that to your web builder, an external company, or I don't know if you have programmers internally, and they would really know what to do to fix it, and then check it again. So this is really like giving you help on this is wrong with your site and this is how to fix it. So this is interesting. Okay, all good and well. Then we have a lot of traffic on our website because we write very inspiring blog topics. Cool, but don't forget, it's not because just write a static text and then I'm stuck in your page and I could do nothing else. Then yeah, don't expect I would buy a lot of things. Then you need call to action buttons. I think in Belgium we are a bit too shy to add them. Look at American sites; it's all call to action. So I think you need something in between. This is an example of a nice looking landings page with big visuals, big titles. You can click here, 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 here. You would never be stuck. Look at why you surfed so long to newspaper sites. That even if you didn't like the article you clicked on, there are like 5 direct other articles you could click on. Make sure that people never are stuck, and make sure they can also click directly to I like this, I want to buy it, or I want more info, a contact form or some such thing. Another important thing to fix on your website are tracking pixels. I hope you know what it is. So what does it mean? The whole GDPR rules were meant to fix these kind of things. So if you surf to a normal website who has tracking pixels, and then I would surf to Facebook, he would know who I am and would show me exactly this latest info I search on your website. This is how Zalando works. And the same rule applies for LinkedIn, Google, Instagram, you name it. How does it work? Yeah, it works via cookies. So based on anonymous data matched with cookies, we can track your ID. Probably I wouldn't know that you are X, A, or Y, but I know how to find you back if you surf to any of those channels. What does that mean? That imagine I go to your website now. 97% of your visitors leave somehow without taking action, we could catch them back based on one of these channels. There we show nice banners and then we try to get them back or to buy or to do something else. This kind of campaigns have the most return on investment ever. We would get up to 20 ROAS, which means return on ad spend. There are tools, just Google them, tracking pixel checker or something like make sure that this is installed on your website, because if one day you want to do retargeting campaigns and you don't have it, you have to start from scratch. This is something that builds itself up. Like imagine you have the tracker installed for 1 month on your website. Facebook would really analyze everybody who is on your website, match them with their own Facebook audiences, and then make the perfect audience for you. You could even do lookalikes on them. So that's a giveaway. How would that work? And an example here, it's a client of us, Tissot. It's part of Swatch Group. It's luxury watches. So what we do is, okay, we make nice, appealing advertisements on these channels, Facebook, Instagram, and co. They link to the e-shop, and there you were doubting perhaps to buy this watch or whatever. What happens then is Zalando style, by accident on any of those platforms, you would see the same watch again. So this is how it works. The e-shop gives a hidden ID back to any of those channels. And the minute you are on there, you would see a personalized advertisement. Then you would say, hey, they really know what I'm thinking. This is how to do magic. Okay, so all these points were pretty much what you can fix yourself. You probably not need a webmaster to do it. It's plain logic. Now we're going to give you some suggestions to go more in depth. So this is the in-depth approach. We'll talk about UX, advanced SEO, advanced content creation, how to sell more online, and then marketing automation. The UX-driven web approach. Okay. First, we've talked about that most of the, usually you sit together with the management and then they make the content and that's one for all, but that doesn't work. So every customer has different needs. There are two ways to handle that. You could say, let's do an internal exercise and define the types of customers we have. We have client type A, B, C. And for each client, we modify a little bit our content so he really has like an aha experience and you know what he wants. More advanced as the site decides which profile you have real time. This is how Amazon works. This is how bol.com works. Do 2 clicks on that website and they really know that you are a daddy with a child who needs pampers and the mother loves X and A. You could do crazy profiling that's not classifiable and A, B, and C. Because sites like bol.com and Amazon do that, they have 45% more revenue than any other site who doesn't do it. This is an idea of the personas. Okay, I don't want to go in detail, but sometimes you hear this kind of profiles called passive or casual or active, and per persona we define what age he could be, his interest, his shopping behavior, which channels he or she is on, and so on. And then we could say per persona, if you are X, you would see this kind of content. If you're A, you would see other content. A practical example is, for instance, if you are into interior, you could have a client type who is an interior designer, call him an architect, a visual guy. This guy or girl would like to see nice big visuals and not too much technical details. On the other side, you have like a wholesale buyer. Let's say Taxi builds thousands of houses per year, and this guy is a guy who has to make sure that the BIM standards are correctly and that your some ISO standards are filled in right. He's not so interested in big photos. He just wants to see facts and figures and as fast as possible. So this could be that it's the same content, but displayed in another way per kind of profile. A practical example here is there's a client of us called WeLink. It's a private bank. They do banking and insurance services. And for them, we did a more classification based on the age. So I could be a starter age 18 and further. Then I build up capital age 35 and further. Then I'm almost at pre-pension, and then I can enjoy my pension. Or I am a real entrepreneur, I have a company, and so on. Okay, imagine I click on start, I would see stuff that really relates to me. I'm buying my first house, I'm leaving it. What we also did here, you can probably see it, is add these kind of little elements. So it's never use just stock photos, make something special out of it. So we let people dream. Because I'm leaving the house, I have a special hypothecaire credit. I have something I have to do for my fire insurance and stuff like that. I would buy my first car. Here I could have my loan simulator. There are simulators connected to that. So these topics really relate to my age. This is part one. Part two, I'm 35 years old. I just bought, in phase one, I bought my house. And now I want to do an extension. I want a veranda, I want a swimming pool, I want a bigger house perhaps, I don't know. And I like to invest and earn some money on the stock. Perhaps not these days, but imagine. So these links are not the same links as these links. It would link to really my products, my service. Then the last one is I'm an entrepreneur. How do I start my own company? How would I protect myself against, I don't know, failures or bankruptcy? How do I hire new people? These are really things that interest me. And it's not so high tech to implement them because there is one homepage who pretty much asks you, how can I help you? In which phase of your life are you? Are you a starter? Are you an entrepreneur? Stuff like that. And then you click, and based on that, if you save a cookie, the rest of the site just shows your info. Of course, we talked about artificial intelligence. You can go further than that. With cookie behavior and serve behavior, you could, for instance, add a layer of experience to an existing site. We have experience in combining, for instance, Drupal with Motic. Motic is a marketing automation system. It's also giving back content based on what you do. So if you click on 1, 3, and 5, Motic would give you back the right content to show on the next page that's really interesting for you. So there it's more like a motor to distribute the right content to the right guy at the right time. Here we limit ourselves to 4 personas. Here there are unlimited personas. It's just a matter of sending the right message. Right. Okay, we discussed already a bit the basics of SEO, but of course there are advanced SEO too. So what is meant by search? Search, there are 4 things that are classifiable under search, namely search engine optimization. This is, if I Google something, I would see all the results here. Some would be having a mentioning called advertised. Other would be not advertised, which means natural. You didn't pay for them. You would also have a list of apps that could fit with you, with your search. For instance, the iStore or Google Play. And then there is voice search. We discussed this in another topic already. People search more and more by voice. It's trending. Okay, not everybody is using it yet, but be sure that next year, wouldn't be surprised that half of the people just talk to something and then they like to see the right results. This has another way of doing SEO, because you have to think like, how would anyone talk to a machine, and what do I have to answer back? It's not the same as classic SEO. Okay, there are 3 success factors. We've shown them in the 3 balls a bit before, but there are a lot of details there. Not going over all of them, but okay, how to do a successful SEO mission is to start with an in-depth audit. You really have to know what you're doing before you do it. And there are a lot of details based on that. Some examples of an in-depth audit of SEO, which we could provide, by the way, is the semantic analysis. That's the one you probably know. These are the hot keywords, and then search volume per month, per country, you name it. And this, I think everybody knows this one. One which is mostly forgotten is, what is your competitor doing? Or practically our first question we ask to new clients is, who are your 2 biggest competitors? not to go there, but to know how we can differentiate for them, and to choose the battle we can win. Perhaps they are strong on keywords 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's focus on others. And so per country, we can check what your competitor is doing compared to you. So that's interesting. Here is a chart which is more in detail. So this is a bit, it's Bioderma versus La Roche-Posay versus Avène. They are all three competitors of each other. And then we really check page by page. So they have a page about skin. And on La Roche-Posay, it's this page, and on Avène, it's another page. And then we compare the ranking per page in the eyes of Google. And then you could see, whoa, red is bad, green is good. We are losing a lot of terrain on our competitors there. How can we fix this shortly? So this is really interesting material. This is beyond, I'm Googling something and I hope it works. Okay, then we can do a technical audit. It's a bit what the tool does there of Google, but more in depth. This is really, SEO missions can be done on sites that we don't make ourselves. So this is interesting for you. This could be a quick fix on your current website. So change this and that, fix this there. This is almost a document to give to your programmer. All right. Another topic is dashboarding. Okay, you know Google Analytics, I hope. A lot of our clients are struggling with the tool, and it has limits. There's another tool of Google called Google Data Studio, which is much more flexible. There we can import all kind of sources of data. So, okay, your Google Analytics data would be imported there, but it would be matched with your Facebook data. We could real-time see which post performed best, which target audience works or doesn't work. We could combine, there are tons of sources that could be combined into one CEO sheet or in-depth sheet or whatever you want, and it's nice graphical and it's real time. So this is much more handier. This could be your new start page on your browser. Then instead of Google Analytics, where you need to click on 35 slides to really have the full report. Two short examples, not going too much into details. There's a veranda builder in France called VN Veranda. Okay, we did a SEO mission on that. What is the result? Because we are a bit ROI based. 80% more natural traffic, which isn't bad, I hope. And 45% more quote requests, I mean offer requests. So this is the real impact of a SEO, if SEO is well done. So it really is a motor and free traffic and more leads. Surprisingly, okay, they still do paid advertising. Some battles cannot be won by SEO alone. Because the SEO has done so well and Google loves it, they have to pay less per click. It's perhaps strange in the ears, but you get penalized if your page you link to is really not so interesting, and they lose traffic on that. So, okay, the traffic which is still paid costs now 70% less than before, and they have 37% more conversion. Okay, it's an investment, but it pays itself back, and it goes on and on and on. So, okay. Another topic here is fashion retail, who's online too. Same story. More SEO, more turnover, more pages visited, less media spent on AdWords, more return on investment on the paid AdWords. So this is a win story. Remember. All right. Advanced content creation. Okay, so we've given you already some tips on how to write blogs yourself. Perhaps if you would wonder, why do I really need to do that? There was a survey done by HubSpot, a popular CRM system or marketing automation. On B2B level, if you do blogging, you get 67% more leads. On B2C level, if you do blogging, you get 88% more leads. I think these topics are interesting to see. So, okay, you have to write content once in a while, but content marketing really pays itself back. An example, a client of us, Davitamon. Okay, they have to sell vitamins, pills, But how would you do that? It's their core business, like vitamin C, that is an impossible word to be number one on Google. So instead of doing the obvious and then just aiming at vitamin A, B, C, whatever, we checked what is related to what they do. So they have a whole market of a range fitting for mothers who are pregnant or just were pregnant or have babies. And then, so we made a blog about gezonde zwangerschap, healthy pregnancy, development of babies, and healthy food. Be sure these are very hot search keywords on Google. And if you click any of those, you would be linked to the matching blogs. And even if that blog is not so interesting for you, with one click, you have a whole set of other blogs interesting for you. So this is the real way how to adapt SEO. You could say, I put all the SEO optimization on my homepage. No, that's really not the case. Google indexes pages, not necessarily just your homepage. How does a detail of a blog page would look like? Okay, of course, the title and the hot keywords would be in the URL, already shown. But look at that. This is a blog page, but it's actually a converting lead page. SEO-friendly URL, SEO-optimized text, a clear pack shot. Guess what? I'm looking on afvallen na bevalling, and the only solution is eat more or swallow more Davitamon pills with this kind of solution. If I click on that, I could directly buy them online. Davitamon doesn't really directly sell online. They would link back to Pharmaline or even Kruidvat, or they would match you with postal codes to the nearest pharmacy near you. So, but there is a link to online sales. Also here they have call to action, but I could share this article on social. I could see in previous article, next article, I could click on them. This has all the allures of a newspaper, but it's a landing page of Davitamon. Right. Okay, here's also a nice thing. Okay, so it's not just about writing text. I get it. Then you did everything you had to do, let's say on the previous page, but the eye also wants something. This is how we do it for Unilin. Once in a while, they have a new collection of colors of things that they sell. And then we write an in-depth blog about it. And it's really long because Google loves long content. And there is no way I get on page one with 3 lines of content. And then we make sure there's traffic to it. How do we do that? Okay, we hope by SEO, of course, after optimization, but we push it a little bit by using a consequent the same styling on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. It would all link back to the website. There you can order samples. There you would see the nearest wood shop near to you, and so on and so on. So blogging is not just about putting something on the site and hope somebody searches to it. No, it's a full part of a content marketing plan. And make sure that on every channel you do the same story, but adapted to each specificity. Like Instagram, yeah, it's square. It's normally per 3 or per 6. You could do funny stuff with that. LinkedIn has a bit different formats than Facebook. Okay, so it's a bit tweaking per platform. Right, almost to the end. Start selling online. This is a screenshot of the newspaper I got 2 days ago. Yeah, in the retail sector, it was 20% growth on e-commerce just during Corona. So if it was millions before, now it's gone up 20%, and let's say a big month. Even as a B2B company, you would say, I have nothing to sell. We already have clients that normally work via retail, so they would work B2B2C, but are starting the first steps and directly selling directly to the client and B2C with another name, with another brand, doesn't matter, but try it. Pretty sure some companies are already regretting a lot that they weren't online before COVID-19 started. Also for B2B, yeah, the times of sending faxes to order anything are also a bit gone. So just the way people order now. So even if I'm an acquisition manager at the B2B company, I like to serve in the evening. I like what you offer me. I could buy it online or order it online. So it could also be seen as a bit an order tool online, but just do it. Don't go static or offline. You would say, yeah, but an e-shop, this could take years and millions to build. There are e-shops like that, but okay, you could start handy and lean and mean, and some e-shops can be built in 1 month and don't cost that much. And then scale as you grow. Here's one example of how to do that. Okay, client of us is Nathan. It's couturier, fashion, nice luxury dresses and stuff like that. So we started in the beginning with a lookbook. This is this is a nice visual catalog, call it that way. But then, yeah, just before Corona, okay, there was a real need on adding e-commerce. Normally this was mission impossible, but there are some light solutions like Shopify where we use a headless solution. What do we mean is we use the engine of Shopify, but the front end stays Drupal. So we combine those two, and let's say in a very limited time, you change your existing website into a brand and e-shop site at once. It's best of both worlds. There are much more branding possibilities with Drupal than in Shopify, but Shopify has a nice shopping engine. So we just combined the two. Of course, you can go full e-commerce. That's not the topic of today. We are part of Europe's biggest e-commerce group. They're called SQLI. Okay, have a look at it. Any question, I'll show my details on the end. You can contact me. So what they do is, okay, there's e-commerce and there's unified commerce. E-commerce is just a little part of unified commerce. You could say, yeah, it's about the full shopping experience. It starts on the website, you look for something, then you go to your app, then you go to the store, you call their call center, you have email marketing afterwards, you have networking, mode-to-mode communication, and so on and so on. They are key and creating ecosystems who handle all that. Some technologies are SAP, Salesforce, Adobe, which is now linked to Magento, and these are some nice clients they already did. Marketing automation, well, we've got the nice site, we've got the nice content, we've got everything we want, we even have clients, but now how to make these clients buy more. Not going to every step, but okay, this is normally the marketing steps to make clients. You attract them, you engage them, you nurture them, then you try to up and cross sell, and then you try to keep them forever linked to you. How would you do that? Okay, imagine I buy baby milk or baby powder. After 7 days, we can make this kind of journeys. Actually, you could call this MailChimp 2.0. There are a couple of packages. We use a lot Actito, by the way, where you can really have a flow where you say, if somebody bought product X, after 7 days, do this, after 15 days, do that, and after 25 days, do that. It's not just linked to email. You could say, do something on social then, send a post mailing, do this, do that. Think of every digital channel available, and or SMS marketing or messenger or whatever. It's all doable. But here, a logical flow would be, I bought something, I have to rate the product. After 15 days, they say, hey, don't you need Pampers or some kind of lotion? And then after 25 days, I think this is gone then, don't you need 3 orders with a little bit of reduction? This is a classic e-shop flow. How does Media Market attract new customers? There is not one solution. This is a bit how they do it. It's a client of us. Okay, they started off with already some big client database before they went on e-shop mode. This database is real-time linked to Facebook and Google, where we can find lookalike audiences. We really can make from 10,000 existing clients 100,000 potential clients. Facebook and Google have nice engines, and they really can find the same characteristics and then expand your target group to possibly new clients. You also have the visitor on the site who didn't do anything. Remember the tracking pixel story, we can trace them back wherever they go. So it's a Zalando story. Then we show them matching ads on Facebook, Google, and so on. We create traffic to the site, and then we go retargeting. Okay, but what happens with the clients who already bought something 6 months ago, but after that it's gone? this is how to revive an active customer. So there can be a ton of scenarios there that say, if you didn't buy after 3 months, give them a voucher of €5. After 6 months, it's €10, stuff like that. The nice thing about this, we think of flows, and then they start together with the customer journey of the client. So if I buy that milk next week, and 5 days, and 7 days, I will get this scenario. If I buy it in a month, and 1 month and 7 days, I will get that scenario. So it really relates to what I did at the right time, at the right moment. Okay, we are on the end almost. Okay, everybody who's watching this will get an email with this full presentation, also the movie, and a link to how to request your free website scan. We already shown some slides of how it could be. So you can have a free scan of, let's say, 40 pages in depth on your website with tips and tricks how to improve it. And of course, some things are so detailed that you need a professional partner like us. But okay, the free scan is really for you. I would take advantage of it. Some short words about Wax. Well, my name is Brecht. I'm a business developer. And I manage this kind of projects from A to Z. About us, well, in short, we help companies and brands to sell more. I think this is really the clue. We are part of a bigger group of 2,400 people. The headquarters in France, but they do the full Europe. In Belgium, we are 140. We have divisions in Brussels, Ghent, and Hasselt. Now it's Ghent talking. But okay. Our mission is to connect your customers to your brands and your company. So, okay, that's what makes sense. How do we do that? We use brand awareness, great experiences, generate sales, and do customer activations. If any question, don't hesitate to ask me afterwards. You can chat or mail me at brecht@wax.be. Some of our clients, of course, we always like to show the biggest clients. Don't feel threatened if some are too big. And this is the end. So certainly have a look at our website. It's new. And what we've shown here is pretty much what we do. No nonsense approach. We see, we like to check where you are now, how we can improve you short term, and worst case, how we have to redo some stuff to really make it work long term. I hope everybody enjoyed this webinar, and don't feel free to ask me any question. I will send you my email coordinates after the session. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.